Last time we showed you how to start growing your tomatoes from seeds, but for these seedlings to end up looking like these tomatoes in your garden, the first thing you're going to have to do is transplant them. So let me show you how to do that over here. We've got a transplant tray set up on this table, and what we're using today are just cell packs to put our transplants in with some potting soil. And to start with, just take a small handful of your seedlings out of your seed tray, okay, separate them gently from the other plants, and then gently pull each seedling away from the soil ball. Make a little hole in each cell pack for the roots of the seedling and gently put those into the soil and firm the soil around the new little plant. And go ahead and fill up all of the cell packs of your tray. Now be very careful as you're handling the transplants not to crush the stem. If you happen to hold on to it too tightly, you can crush the stem and that will end up in killing your seedling. I'm going to go ahead and do a couple more transplants here so you can see how it's done. And a pencil really does make a nice tool when you're doing the transplanting to make the hole in the cell packs and then also to help you firm the soil around the roots of each plant. You can plant tomato seedlings a little bit deeper than they were originally in the seed tray. That's not going to hurt them. And if your stems have happened to gotten a little bit too tall as they were growing, that can help to make them a little bit more sturdy and stand up a little bit straighter in the cell packs. Okay, there are some problems that you can run across with your seedlings. And one of those is nutrient deficiencies. You can see here on these seedlings where the leaves are turning a little bit yellow and the veins of the leaves are still a nice dark green. That's an indication of a nitrogen deficiency, which means that you haven't been fertilizing your seedlings enough. Also watch for the undersides of the leaves. If they turn a purplish color, that's also an indication of a phosphorus deficiency. And if it's severe enough, it can stunt the plants and they won't grow out properly for you. Also watch out with your watering. If you let the seedlings get too dry, you can end up with some seedlings wilting and dying. There's several important considerations to keep in mind as you're growing out your tomato seedlings. And first of all is light. Tomato seedlings are going to need about 12 hours of full sun a day. And if you're growing them inside under artificial lighting, make sure those lights are very close, within about 6 inches of the tops of the foliage of your tomato plants. That ensures that they get a good high-intensity, high-quality light so that they stay nice and short and they don't tend to stretch up toward the light. Watering is also an important consideration. And as the seedlings grow, you'll be able to water them less and less often. Soak them down thoroughly as you do water them and then let them dry out between waterings. Not to the point where they start to wilt, but you don't want to keep them continually wet. Okay? You can also fertilize at the same time as you're watering. I like to use a water-soluble type of fertilizer and mix that in with the water about 2 or 3 times a week. It works very well. As far as temperature, tomato seedlings need a daytime temperature of about 70 to 75 degrees and a nighttime temperature about 60 to 65. That temperature differential will help to make sure that the seedlings stay nice and short and that they don't stretch and get very tall and thin. Alternatively, you could grow them out at a constant temperature of about 68 degrees, and that will also help to achieve that same effect. Finally, air movement is very important to help control disease problems on the foliage of your seedlings. Put a small fan in the room with your seedlings and let it gently blow over the leaf surface, and that will help to evaporate any water that gets onto the leaves and help to prevent disease problems. Stick around with us on Backyard Farmer and our quest to grow the perfect tomato. In a couple of weeks when we get together, we're going to put these tomato seedlings in the ground and we'll show you how to get them off to a great start.